Alright folks, I just wanted to create a quick first impressions video after taking the DRZ4S for the first little kind of rip around the neighborhood in the city and kind of through some construction stuff. It's going to be not fully comprehensive, but this thing almost kind of seems like the unicorn dual sport, and I don't say that lightly. There's so many little things about the bike that you don't think about that add up that make it really great. I didn't even think about the suspension while I was riding it, and I realized, halfway through the ride, I was like, wow, this is like absorbing all the little bumps. It doesn't feel harsh like my KLX300 did, or my Tenere 700 did after I put some heavier springs in it. The suspension seems really well sorted out for at least the small hits, and I kind of took it off some little ledges and stuff like that, and it didn't really seem to sink down that much, so I suspect this suspension is going to be capable of taking some pretty big hits as well. The clutch is insanely light, which means when you're sitting at a red light, it's effortless to hold the clutch in if you want to do that, if you don't want to shift into neutral. That's really nice. The way the headlight works, there's a little trigger on the front side of the gauge cluster, and you flick the little trigger out to turn the high beam on, and to turn it off you just pull it back, and then you can also do you can flash it just by pulling the trigger, which is nice for passing or letting people know you're there, that kind of stuff. It handles amazing, it's really lightweight. Feels way lighter than the KTM 690 I had, which is only about, on paper, 20 pounds lighter than this bike. It feels way lighter. It's more powerful than I thought it was going to be. I had a KLX 300 before, and I just came off a KTM 690, so I was thinking, oh man, this thing's probably going to feel anemic. Kind of like the KLX 300. KLX 300 is not completely anemic, but it's not powerful. This thing, it goes really well. It really goes. Wow, yeah, it's way more powerful than I thought, or it feels more powerful. Probably due to its lightweight, and it's still got that 40 horsepower at the crank, just about. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this bike. I took it on highway speeds to see what it was like. To be fair, it's not broken in yet, so I got it up to 130 kilometers per hour. I think I could probably get it up to 140, 150 if I wanted to, but I don't want to get it the RPMs quite that high just yet. Yeah, so you're gonna have no problems passing people on this thing. It's gonna be able to carry luggage for small adventure rides and stuff, no problem. Extra weight, it's gonna be able to handle because of that power, and because the suspension's sorted out. I think you just add a little more preload. Yeah, I'm really impressed. The bike's pretty quiet around town, which I like, actually. If you're all about the noise and stuff, you could always put an aftermarket. I know they make a Yoshi system for it already. But yeah, you guys, I'm super stoked on this bike after riding it for the first time. There's just everything about it so nice. The brakes are really nice. For a dual sport, I want brakes I can modulate where they're not super responsive, but got a little bit of mush to them. That's perfect for off-roading and stuff. And if you really hammer down on them, they really grab as well, so that's really good. So if you need to make emergency stops, the 5 speeds isn't too bad, but I could see how a 6th gear would really make this bike amazing. I'm really kind of sad they didn't put a 6th gear in this bike, but 5 is fine for, on this bike. I don't really want to travel any real distance going 120 kilometers per hour or something. I'm going to be going about 110 kilometers per hour, which is about 65 miles an hour. And for that, it'd be fine just cruising at that. I could probably even cruise at 120, to be honest. I think it'd probably be okay, but the 6th gear would really have made this bike kind of a really good base to make a lightweight adventure bike out of. But you can still do it the way it is. The gear spacing's good. I feel like first isn't too high, actually. I feel like it's a pretty good. It's not super low geared for crawling up stuff, at less than 5 kilometers an hour, but it's not super high geared either, like my DR650 was. So I appreciate that. Man, I'm so stoked on this bike. It handles really well. It feels amazing. I'm really excited about this now that I've taken it for a real first ride. Oh, So excited. My fingers are frozen though. It's a little cold out.